the circular.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. CS Ogamba happens to be a very good friend of mine. I want to congratulate him and wish him the best. I believe he is up to the task. The responsibility has been given by the government. Mr. CS, you said the number of students are 4.2 million, and you said there was a physical census.
Senator Richard Onyonka, we are on question number 048 on foreign travel. So your supplementary question.
Thank you, sir. I will ask him the question foreign travel. You've explained that your responsibility is to look, the circular you gave had something to do with the essential travel and the number of people who are supposed to be traveling. I did not hear you mention the number. In other words, the feeling and the observation I've made is that you find when government officers are traveling, sometimes you will find that even when you have reduced the number of the individuals traveling, you do not particularly discuss the number that, for example, a PS can travel with, the number that a director can travel with. And indeed, in your office, I know you are entitled to go either with the PA and 2 other people. Have you observed that as an issue that could have increased the number of people who are traveling? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senator Kisii.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my question is one. I wanted to find out from the CS that since the release of the circular and requests that have been made by the universities, because we know our lecturers, these are researchers, they go for conferences, serious conferences, and also meeting their own peers to enhance knowledge. Since the release of the circular, how many requests have been made to the CS, and how many did he approve since the time of the release of the circular?
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the circular is quite clear on what essential travel is, and it states that essential travel is part of fulfillment of state obligations and pursuant to the conduct of critical state party engagements for the purpose of fulfilling a statutory leadership or membership role in which critical decisions impacting on the country's position are considered. So there are parameters that have been provided for in the circular, which is a guiding light, and this circular has been sent to all the universities, and each and every vice chancellor has circulated it to their members. And that is what we are following. We are not creating anything new. And what is important is to confirm that what the officer is going to do can't be done by anybody else, or it's going to bring in some other advantage, some other value that is required as indicated in that particular circular. So that the impact assessment has not been undertaken since the circular was issued on the October 2nd, 2023. It's just about a year old, and I think it is now ripe for that particular impact assessment to be undertaken, and I think that's what we are likely to do. But we have not done it yet to confirm how much money has been saved, how many people have traveled, etc., etc. But the numbers have reduced. Senator Chiragay, the reason why non-essential travel was banned, this is because I think a lot of people were traveling without good reason, and it increased the cost of foreign travel for ministries, and it became necessary to ensure that there are regulations and guidelines to limit the number of travels that are not essential, and as I said earlier, that can be performed by officers that we have in those foreign countries, or that can be done using what we are indicating as on online meetings, etc., etc. So it became necessary that we limit that number to reduce. It's a cost-cutting measure that is across the ministry and across the government in various sectors, and this is one of them. To Senator Onyonka, yes, the number is limited. It was reduced. It was found that initially you would find maybe a cabinet minister is traveling with a very big delegation. So the number was reduced, and there is a provision for delegation size in that particular circular. For example, cabinet secretaries, delegations headed by cabinet secretaries shall not exceed 3 persons, including the cabinet secretary themselves as the head of the circular. So you need to decide if you are going, you'll go with one other person. If it's a technical meeting, you go with a technical person, so that you do not carry all and sundry. Headed by principal secretary shall not exceed 2 persons themselves. That's 1 + 1. Where a chairperson is traveling, the chairperson of a state corporation will not travel with any other person. They travel alone, 1 + 0. Delegation headed by chairpersons or chief executive officers of constitutional commissions, they are allowed 1 + 1. The person, the chairperson or the CEO plus 1 other person. So this is the model that we are following, and obviously it has reduced the cost and the expenses. We have not done, I've indicated the actual number, figures, but we are going to do that because now it's a year, it's been done, we've finished 1 year. And the question relating to the requests that have come from the universities, we do not have the exact number, but as indicated earlier, when a request comes, the assessment is done against the circular. What the university vice chancellor or Don is going to do, is it essential? Can it be done by somebody else? And the number. So we are following that closely, and we have not arbitrarily rejected or not approved an essential travel. But where we see that is not essential or where the number exceeds what is required, we of course we rationalize that and we do not approve. Thank you, I submit.
Honorable Senators, we'll now move to question number 52. Senator Beatrice